This morning we're going to talk about A Course in Miracles, believe it or not. Specifically, what is the source of so many of the distortions and mistakes people make in trying to understand the Course, and then obviously in implementing it in their everyday life. And this goes right to the crux of what the message of A Course in Miracles really is. To understand the meaning of forgiveness, one must understand the important distinction Jesus makes throughout of the mind and the body, or the distinction between the mind and the body. In chapter 2, he talks about level confusion. Actually, he does a little early in the miracle principles too. And in chapter 2, he talks about this in the context of sickness and healing. And the confusion of levels is believing that it is the body that's sick, and therefore it's the body that's in need of healing. When the fact of the matter is, since the body is an illusion, it's an idea that has never left its source in the mind, and therefore it's not even out there. It's the mind that is sick. The decision-making mind that has chosen to believe in the thought system of the ego, which itself is the sickness, and then has the power to correct itself and choose to be healed by choosing Jesus or the Holy Spirit as his teacher. It's this distinction between mind and body that, again, is the source of so many misunderstandings as students begin reading A Course in Miracles and attempting to live it. The Course can never be understood if it is understood from the perspective of the body. If the person reading, studying, and practicing the Course thinks that he or she is a body, thinks that he or she is a person, moreover, thinks that Jesus is addressing him or her as a person reading and studying A Course in Miracles. That can't be true, since over and over again we're told that ideas leave not their source, and there's nobody out there. So how could Jesus be addressing someone who's not out there? If he did that, he'd be hallucinating, which means he'd be sharing in the psychosis that Jesus tells us is the lot of everyone in this world. He doesn't use the word psychosis, of course, but he does use the word insanity. Right. Another way of saying this is to recognize. In fact, I frequently say that one way of realizing or beginning or being able to appraise one's growth in this Course is to recognize that when the time comes when you realize that the you that Jesus continually addresses in A Course in Miracles is not, again, the you think you are, the person you think you are studying this book, but the you is the decision-making mind that needs to choose again. When you recognize that, that's when you know that you are really making progress with this Course. That's when you begin to understand that everything in this Course is only about changing your mind. That when one receives messages from Jesus, whether it's the larger message of A Course in Miracles or whatever personal messages or experiences people have, that it's never about what you ought to do. It's never about the sacred mission that you think you have. It's always and only about the only function that he's ever interested in, which is our function of forgiveness. That's what the section, the special function, is all about. We all have that same special function. It comes in many different forms, but we all share the same function of learning to forgive. This process can only occur in the mind because it's only the mind that has chosen not to forgive. It chose to attack first oneself, which is the meaning of guilt, and then to project that out and attack everyone else. So this is really all about shifting our identification from the body to the mind. That's what Jesus was telling Helen right at the beginning, telling all of us all the way through all three books of the Course, and would tell us continually in our mind. He's that loving presence of the truth that calls us back within to the mind so that we could choose his message rather than the ego's message of guilt, attack, and judgment. So as one reads the Course, we're certainly not asked to deny our mind or our physical experiences in this world. Again, in that same section in chapter 2, Jesus cautions us, saying that it's a particularly unworthy form of denial to deny one's physical experiences in this world. But we're asked to use our experiences, physically and psychologically, as the royal road, to use Freud's term, that gets us back to the mind when we could choose again. It's all about the mind, not about the body, not about behavior, not about the world, not about A Course in Miracles as a book. It's all about this new thought system that really is ancient, but it's new because we have forgotten it, that is now reintroduced into our experience, that helps us move away from the body, back to the mind so we could choose again. Since it's the mind that has chosen wrongly, it is only the mind that could choose correctly, and that's the purpose of A Course in Miracles.